We talked about this and that. Talked about session coming to an end soon, and told the governor what a great job he's doing.
Did you change your mind on your stance on gay marriage?
I have not. Had a great conversation with the governor. Told him that I think he's doing a great job. He's really leading the state well, and we're lucky to have him.
Did the governor try to change your mind on gay marriage?
Yes.
Did the governor try to change your mind on gay marriage?
No.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you just say that you were still a no vote on gay marriage? Somebody just asked that, and I thought you said yes.
Yes, I did.
Do you still think you're convincible? You said that you could be persuaded in the past. Is that still the case?
I'm still a no. I'm still talking to people, so I'll let that speak for itself.
Could you just talk about some amendments maybe that you offered up that you think are important?
Yeah, I think a concern that I've expressed and others have expressed is that we don't want to create a vehicle that would allow anyone to make a challenge to erode what I think is a fundamental American freedom, and that is the freedom of expression when it comes to religion.
So did the governor accept any of those or warm up any of those?
We talked about our concern.
So how would you characterize his reaction to it?
This governor is a leader. This governor is practical. This governor wants to get things done. And so every conversation you have with this governor has you, I think, believing that we're in good hands with this governor.
Did you bring any amendments on paper?
We talked about the concepts and the subject, and I think everyone, I don't know anyone who would disagree, any good person that would disagree that we wouldn't want to create a situation where people's religious beliefs are threatened or challenged by anything we do on this or any other legislation here. It's something that I think is a fundamental principle that we need to protect here in this country, and I haven't met a person that has suggested that we shouldn't care about that. The governor cares about that, and I care about that, and that's what we're talking about.
Are you proceeding with caution?
It's already in the law, as you know, that you can't just discriminate arbitrarily because you happen to have a religious belief. It's limited to certain areas, to private organizations, but not to the provision of public service accommodations. What is the middle ground that you're looking for there?
Yeah, no middle ground. You want to get it right. Our courts are filled with litigants and lawsuits, and if you get the language right, you've got a better chance of protecting that which you seek to protect. If you get it wrong, then you expose our religious organizations to litigation, and we shouldn't do that, and we've got to make sure that we don't do that.
Could you release the language that you're
We're talking in broad strokes right now, and so there's no specific language, but we're just trying to make sure we go over the case law, analyze the law, and make sure that we do nothing here that would allow any religious organization to be threatened by any piece of legislation, whether it's this or any other, to be challenged.
So, Senator, has the governor given an indication to you that a chapter amendment would be likely to his bill?
I think the governor, as any good person, agrees that we should not do anything which would allow our religious organizations, our churches, our synagogues, our mosques, and the people that express their religious beliefs in this country protected above and beyond any other nation in the world, agrees that we should make sure that we don't do anything that erodes or threatens that fundamental principle that we hold very dearly in this country.
The governor has said that he thought that the language offered that protection. Are you saying that he's agreeing that maybe there's further to go, or is he backing off his position?
I'm just saying he believes that that is the goal that we want to achieve, and we're talking about whether or not we achieve that from our perspective. He has his, but he agrees in the concept.
So because this is such a sensitive issue, are you guys taking a little bit longer in coming up with a decision, or when you guys are throwing ideas back and forth, are you looking at it a little more with scrutiny?
I think there are very few things that define us as Americans, and one of them is our freedom of religion, and so it is more than important. For me, it's an overriding concern. It trumps just about anything else with respect to this legislation and any other legislation. So, yeah, we want to be very careful, and we want to get it right before we even talk about the issue at hand, which is that the central issue of same-sex marriage.
Does it have to be a chapter amendment, or could it be something else, a law, declaration by the Attorney General or the Governor?
It depends on whether or not we come to some agreement or not as to whether or not anything more needs to be done on this subject. We're just having a conversation. We're sitting down, being as analytical as possible because we want to get it right. The stakes are too high.
So do you think that if there's not some changes, it's not going to be brought to the floor?
You know, I'm not going to speak for the conference on that. Personally, I believe that there are areas where we need to strengthen these religious exceptions, and I think for me it's something that is a line in the sand, and it's something that we really need to get right.
Line in the sand for voting or line in the sand for bringing it to the floor? Just to clarify.
For me personally, voting, yeah.
And how do you feel the talks are going so far from your point of view?
I think the people of the state can be proud of we don't always hear, we hear about the negative, but we've got a good group of people up here, both in the Assembly and the Senate. We come from various parts of the state. We have different beliefs and viewpoints, but you've got people that are really dedicated and really trying to do their best to represent the best interests of the people of the state. I could speak for my conference, the Republican conference in the Senate. I'm proud to be a part of it. I've watched my colleagues talk from their hearts, talk with passion, intelligence, and decency and morality, and want to do the right thing, and that's all you can ask of anyone. So, and I'll include the governor in that. Everyone is trying their best to do what is right here.
Senator, are there colleagues in the Senate, the Republican conference, who are opposed to gay marriage, who are still want to bring it out to the floor? Are there a lot of those?
Yeah, I'm not going to start quantifying the who's and what here, but all I can say is that there is a wonderful discussion and debate going on with civility, both in the Republican conference and elsewhere here in Albany, and that's healthy. That's the American way, and I'm glad to see it wherever this ends up. I'm glad, and wherever I end up on the issue, I'm glad to see it proceeding that way. The people deserve no less, and I think people are carrying themselves very, very well.
How's this issue running in terms of calls and emails and the like coming from the district?
You know, it's day to day. One day you get all the calls are in favor. The next day, they're all opposed. I mean, it really is. But there are lots of calls.
What's your polling of your district show?
I haven't polled it. Scientifically, I can tell you that just being out there, out and about. If I had to give you sort of my sense of where the district is, I would say that my district seems to be more opposed than not. But again, that's not through any scientific polling. It's just my experience talking to the people I represent.